Protesters strengthened their positions at the outskirts of Cairo's Tahrir Square Monday, holding off security forces who fired at stone-throwing crowds.
No Tantawi, no Tantawi, no Tantawi.
I will say for Moshir Tantawi, everybody in Egypt, he tell you, go, you should be go.
Anger towards the head of the ruling Supreme Council of the Armed Forces, Field Marshal Mohammed Hossein Tantawi, mounted Monday as casualties from 3 days of fighting grew. Makeshift field hospitals were set up in the center of the square.
The majority of cases are suffocation from tear gas. The others are just small pellets. It's called rubber pellets. We are just trying to do the first aid, but we are just facing some cases that are difficult to manage.
Publisher Hisham Qasim at his office near Tahrir says Egypt's security forces are unable to deal with the situation.
Our police force and even the military elements that do support them or help them are not trained to break up a riot properly. They either withdraw or it's excessive use of force. In fact, they've been trained under Mubarak to use force excessively and unnecessarily. So it's become a standoff.
An army spokesman Monday justified the offensive, saying the protests are hurting Egypt's economy. But the warlike tactics have enraged demonstrators, turning them even more against the military that earlier this year had been their champion.
Mr. Tantawi is a soldier. Soldiers has a place to keep us and to fight our enemy outside Egypt, not to direct their guns to us here inside countries.
The move to civilian rule is set to begin in 1 week with parliamentary elections, but it could be 2013 until the transition is complete. Some fear the military will use the violence to drag it out even longer. Publisher Qasim disagrees.
If they stay much longer, they're going to be facing much more violence, and they're aware of that. And then none of them are really interested in staying in power. Like they said, we know how to run a military, we don't know how to run a country. And with the election of a parliament and a president, a new hope, a new grace period will be given by the people.
An informal survey of protesters indicates many do plan to take part in voting.
Okay for voting.
Given the current violence, the protesters don't seem to have much of an alternative. Elizabeth Thowett, VOA News, Cairo.